Hello all. Today we will be learning about the applications of porosity. In the previous lectures we have covered what is porosity and the factors affecting the porosity. Now we'll be learning about the applications of the porosity, where we do generally use porosity. So in general we'll be getting few questions where we need to figure out what is bulk volume, the bulk volume of the reservoir. The formula of the bulk volume is 43560 A into H into feet cube, where A is the area of the reservoir and H is the length, not length, it is a width. Like for example, if we take this as a reservoir, then we have to find it as thickness will be the H. The thickness of this reservoir is this one, so this will be the thickness, and the area, the surface area is this. Like this area is something which will be like, we should consider this area as something which we see on the surface, like we are standing on this. Most of the drilling rigs reservoirs will be on the surface, right? So the man who is figuring out what is the bulk volume of this reservoir is standing here, so he will figure this area as A and thickness as H. So the bulk volume of the reservoir will be A into H into feet cube, and this is in terms of feet cube, where area should be taken in feet square and H in feet, and is also equal to 7758 into AH into barrel. Then pore volume is equals to 43560 AH 5 feet cube, where 5 is porosity, 5 is equals to pore volume by the bulk volume. So this is bulk volume, right? So bulk volume into pore volume by bulk volume gives us pore volume. Similarly, in terms of barrel, we will get 7758 AH5 barrel. So by using this conversion, 1 barrel is equals to 42 gallon is equals to 5.6146 feet cube, which I gave in the very first lecture. Just go through that, and every morning just make sure that you will be revising the formulas. Then you'll find it very easy to to convert the units. And this just I have noted down one simple problem from Tarak Ahmad. See, a petroleum reservoir has an areal extent of 20,000 feet square and a pay thickness of 100 feet. The reservoir rock has a uniform porosity of 35%. Find the pore volume. PV means pore volume of the reservoir in 10.5. We know that. See, first we will be figuring out the pore volume in few more seconds. Just note down what are the things that they gave. Just 0.35, and an areal extent of area is 20,000 feet square and the pay thickness of from this we can figure out that A and H are given in feet. So firstly we will find the pore volume in feet square. 43 into A into H into 5, right? 43560 into 20,000 into H is 100 feet. 5 is 0.35, and whatever the answer which we get will be in feet cube. So we know the conversion, right? 1 barrel is equals to 42 gallon is equals to 5.6146. So we will get this answer in feet cube. So simply just divide it by 5.6146 cube. Just divide this answer, whatever the answer which we get by finding it, just divide it by 5.6146 feet cube, and then multiply it with 42 gallon. Then if you divide it with 5.614 cube, we'll get in barrel. In case if you want it to be in gallon, just multiply it with 42 gallon. So this is very simple. And you might have also figured out different types of reservoir porosities. Like a porosity is like, we generally say what is porosity. It is a very simple term. In case if we take a core sample, and then if we say like what is the porosity of that, it is very easy to say, like the porosity is very similar. Like it is very simple to say what is the porosity of that sample. But a reservoir is like, it is made up of very million, billion, trillion of samples, right? So there will be a variation in the type of porosity. So the types of porosities are arithmetic porosity, thickness, thickness weighted porosity and areal weighted porosity and volume weighted porosity. A thickness weighted porosity is, it is simply we'll just find the thickness weighted porosity, like considering that the whatever the reservoir which we have found out while drilling, after drilling, has same thickness with same porosity. Like if you consider this is layer 1 with rock sample 1, layer 2 and layer 3, just it is like it is not something which happens in the real life. Just like this is like F5, F1, F2, F3. This is of thick one, H1, H2, H3. What they are considering in arithmetic is, they are considering H1 is equals to H2 is equals to H3. So the average arithmetic average porosity will be simply phi I by n. And this is something which never happens, but in case if they ask, just remember the formula. And coming to the thickness weighted, it means that the thickness of the reservoir is changing. Like this thing may happen, but this is very unusual. Like where if this is H1, this is H2, and where H1 is not equal to H2, and there is a lot of variations in thickness of the reservoir. Then we will be going for the vertical thickness. Phi average is equals to phi into H1 into H not H1, it is HI, like H1, H2, something like that. These formulas have very less importance, but still just give at least 2 or 3 times of revision for this. And areal weighted is like there is a variation in the porosity for certain area, like for a certain area it is some 2 for this like 2%, for this for other areas it is around 5, and like the porosity is varying with area, and then we'll that is called areal weighted porosity. And then volume weighted porosity is much more simple. It is like this is something which happens in the real reservoirs, like phi average is equals to phi 1 into volume 1 to volume, like V1, V2. These are the different things. Like the porosity is varying with different volumes, where area is different, thickness is very different, right? So this is very common. So these are the formulas. Just don't just by heart them. Just remember the way we do that. That's all for this video. Bye bye.